By the year 2035, just 10 years from now, science predicts we will lose some of the most iconic creatures on planet Earth forever. We aren't talking about threatened or vulnerable. We are talking about the walking dead, based on the latest expert data from 2024 and 2025. Here are the 9 animals that are probably going to go extinct in the next decade. Number 1 is the most acute conservation crisis on Earth. The vaquita, found only in Mexico's Gulf of California. The vaquita is the victim of a cartel-run illegal fishing industry. As of 2025, there are only about 7 to 10 individuals left on the entire planet. Despite a glimmer of hope with a new calf spotted this year, the illegal gill nets that drowned them haven't stopped. Without a miracle, they will be gone before you upgrade your phone. Second, the Northern Rhino. For years, the conservation world told us the Northern Rhino was safe. We were told the population was stable at around 76 animals. In mid-2024, a bombshell investigation shattered that illusion. It revealed that a single poaching ring, allegedly aided by insiders with access to tracking data, had systematically slaughtered 26 Northern rhinos between 2019 and 2023. They didn't just kill random animals, they targeted the males for their horns. This has skewed the sex ratio so badly that the remaining females may not find mates. Today, the revised estimate is fewer than 50 individuals remaining in Ujung Kulon National Park. The Indonesian government has launched Operation Red and White to lock down the park, but the damage is done. This isn't just a decline, it was a heist of an entire species. Number 3, the Sula, the ghost of the mountains. The Sula, or Asian unicorn, was only discovered by science in 1992. It looks like an antelope, but it's actually a cousin of wild cattle. Here's the scary statistic. The last confirmed time a human saw a wild Sula was in 2013 via a camera trap. That is over a decade of silence. In early 2025, authorities in Vietnam established a new Sula nature reserve, protecting 19,000 hectares of forest. It's a faith-based conservation effort protecting the home in the desperate hope the tenant is still alive. Experts believe that if any remain, they are dying from snare pollution. By 2035, we will likely either find the last one or admit they have been gone for years. Number 4, Franklin's bumblebee. Extinction isn't just for megafauna. Franklin's bumblebee, a creature that hasn't been seen since 2006. For years, we thought a disease wiped them out. But a groundbreaking 2025 study using museum genomics, analyzing the DNA of old dried specimens, proved us wrong. The study showed the bee had been losing genetic diversity for thousands of years, ever since the Ice Age. They were genetically fragile long before we arrived. When modern climate change brought drought and fire to their tiny range in Oregon and California, they simply couldn't adapt. This is a case of extinction debt paid in full. Number 5, the Great Indian Bustard. The Great Indian Bustard is the victim of a cruel irony. The Great Indian Bustard is a bird that stands a meter tall with a wingspan of 7 feet. Fewer than 150 remain in the wild. Their home in the Thar Desert is also the prime location for India's renewable energy revolution. The problem with bustards have terrible frontal vision. They cannot see power lines until it's too late. They are colliding with the very infrastructure meant to save the planet from climate change. In 2024, the Supreme Court of India made a historic ruling, recognizing a human right to be free from the adverse effects of climate change, but balancing it against the bird's right to exist. The government is trying to breed them in captivity, hatching chicks in 2025, but unless the power lines are buried underground, these birds have no sky left to fly in. Number 6, the Chinese giant salamander. The Chinese giant salamander is the world's largest amphibian. Ironically, there are millions of them in farms for food, but in the wild, they are functionally extinct. A massive survey of 97 sites found only 24 wild individuals. The problem is that farmers release farmed salamanders into rivers. These farmed animals are genetic hybrids mud salamanders that spread disease and wipe out the pure, ancient genetics of the wild ones. However, there is one tiny hope. In 2024, researchers confirmed a small, purebred population in the Zhulingshan Reserve, the only place on Earth where the true lineage still survives. Number 7. The Northern White Rhino. The white rhino is already gone from the wild. There are only 2 left, Najin and Fatu. Both are female. Both are in Kenya. Neither can carry a baby. Biologically, the species is dead, but technology is trying to resurrect it. In August 2025, the biorescue team announced they had created 3 new embryos, bringing the global stockpile to 38. They are now attempting to implant these embryos into southern white rhino surrogates. The new babies won't have anyone to teach them how to be a northern white rhino. Number 8. The Sumatran rhino. Dying of loneliness. With fewer than 50 individuals left, they aren't just being poached, they are dying of loneliness. They are so scattered across the jungles of Indonesia that males and females simply can't find each other. When females don't breed, they develop cysts that make them infertile. It's a biological death spiral. In 2025, the strategy shifted. No more protecting them in the wild. The goal now is to capture every single one and bring them into high-security breeding centers. It's a desperate arc strategy: capture them or lose them. Number 9. The red wolf. Declared extinct in the wild in 1980, they were reintroduced in North Carolina. They hit a low of just 7 wolves in 2020, but in August 2025, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service reported a surge. 28 to 31 wolves are now roaming wild, with 16 pups born this year alone. But don't be fooled, this isn't a wild existence. Every wolf is tracked, coyotes are sterilized to prevent interbreeding. It is a managed wild, but it proves that if we pay the extinction debt, nature can bounce back. The next 10 years will decide if these creatures remain flesh and blood, or become nothing more than digital ghosts in videos like this one. Which one do you think has the best chance? Let me know in the comments.